Chris Mackowski of Emerging Civil War, and I'm shipping out copies of my co-edited book, Grant at 200, reconsidering the life and legacy of Ulysses S. Grant, that I put together with Frank Scaturro and an all-star studded cast of contributors. It's the A-list of Grant historians, let me tell you. And I want to just give you a little insight into the process of getting these books in the mail so you can see just how much TLC Savas Beatie World Headquarters gives to your orders. Now, when these first came in, I had to take these boxes and boxes of books up to Frank so that we could sign them all, which took us about an hour and a half on a Saturday morning. As a kid, I'd spend my Saturday mornings watching cartoons. Now I'd spend them signing books. Then I have to haul all these books into the house. These ones come 24 to a case, so I'm gonna need 3 cases to fulfill this initial set of orders. I'll count out what I need and then check the list to make sure there aren't any special orders. Some people like to have them inscribed and dated. Some like them just signed. One fellow likes to have his book shipped in a box. All the books come wrapped in brown paper, which is a time-intensive process, but it helps protect the book jackets. So the first thing I do is take the time to cut out all of the brown paper wrappings that I'm going to need. So to get these wrapped up, what I do is measure these out, lay them out on the paper like this, get them all measured, and do a quick little cut like this. So now, because of the way these things measure out, I can actually cover 2 books with one of these strips. So I'll fold it in half, give it a nice crease, slip it in 2. This involves a lot of math because I've got 2 books, I've got 2 slips of paper, cutting things in half. I'm a writer. Nobody said there'd be math involved. After I have the brown paper cut out, then I start wrapping the books up. I use Scotch tape to bind it. That way, every time I put a piece on, you hear the sound of bagpipes. Now here's where I want to give a special shout out to Lisa at Savas Beatie World Headquarters, because she always makes sure I have enough mailing supplies, and it's time to then start addressing all of these envelopes. Now I actually have special help for this stage of the process. 3 old, wizened, gnome-like men who are trained from the old country in the ancient art of calligraphy. In fact, their training is so specialized, one of them does only capital letters and another does only numbers. We give this sort of careful attention to your packages so that they're not only functional, but beautiful as well. Can't forget the return address label, which, as you can see, are all applied by drunken sailors. Once I get a stack of these, then it's back into the box they go so that I can transport them to the post office. This will get pretty heavy because, of course, they're books. And now, I've got to carry these bad boys out to the car. That's the thing about being an author they don't tell you about. You have to schlep your own books. It takes me about 17 minutes to get to the post office. So that's 34 minutes round trip, plus the time inside. Each one of these batches takes about 15 to 20 minutes to process. So that I don't wear my welcome out at the counter, I do these in batches. And let's face it, I don't have the attention span to just do books all day long, so batches work out fine for me. But it might take 3 or 4 batches for me to get through one of these full mailings. Along the way, I passed the Spotsy battlefield. This is an area known as Brown's Farm, where the 2nd Corps assembled for its early morning attack against the Mule Shoe on May 12, 1864. A little further along the trip, I actually passed the entrance to the Spotsylvania National Battlefield. Here on the left and right is where the opening attacks took place on May 8, 1864, as the battle got started. I'm so privileged to be able to live near these battlefields and even drive through them on my way to the post office. Eventually, I get into Spotsylvania Courthouse Town Center. A lot of development around here, but I finally get to pull into the post office. This takes a lot of time to do. I want to give a special shout out to my friends at the Spotsylvania Courthouse Post Office who take such good care of me at the front desk. And that means they're taking good care of your books. The post office handles a bajillion pieces of mail, and yet they take excellent care of the books that I send out to you. So be sure that you thank your mail carrier for getting the books to you on your end. So it's time for me to get these books in there and in the mail. Dale, Sean, Melissa, Tiona, TJ, someone's in there waiting to take good care of me and get these books off to you. I'm Chris Mackowski for Emerging Civil War and Savas Beatie. We'll see you online, at the post office, and on the battlefield.